Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to be connecting in with you here at the beginning of the year. I hope that your year is starting off beautifully and powerfully, and that as you're looking ahead, you're really looking at what are those things that matter most to you? What are those things that are important that you lean into and bring forward? Those are the things that you want to spend time and energy on. You want to make sure you're building action and activities that support what you're wanting to be and what you're wanting to bring forward mindfully and purposely as you're looking ahead at 2023 and beyond. Today, we have two amazing guests that have done that. They've looked at what some areas are that really, really matter to them, and they've taken action to bring forward a powerful book that's designed to make a big impact and a big difference in the world. They united forces, and they've played to each other's strength, and they have found a way to not only bring a powerful message forward, but while doing it, make a powerful impact at the same time. So I'm excited for us to lean into our conversation, to learn from them, and really see what are some ideas that we have based on their sharing that we can start to implement and bring forward in our life too. So let's take a moment as we lean in to breathe. Take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth like through a straw. Wonderful. And as you're breathing, just feel that slow you down just a little bit. Sometimes we are moving so fast that we can't even hear ourselves think. So I want you to start the new year thinking and breathing and fully present in your life. So as you're breathing and you're becoming present, I invite you to close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Take a moment and put both hands on your heart. Feel its beat. And as you feel the beat and the pause in between the beats, just take a moment and check in. What is it that you need today to encourage, empower, and support you on your journey? As you're looking ahead at a whole new, brand new 2023, what are you looking for? What are you wanting to bring forward? What do you need to support and empower you to do that? Just take a moment, feel in, and see what's laid on your heart. We're not asking how, we're just asking you to identify what is being laid on your heart. What message is bubbling up? Beautiful. So let's take another deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth like through a straw. Wonderful. Become fully present, eyes open, and take a moment and write down what was laid on your heart. Let's keep it top of mind, what it is that you've identified that you need, or you're being reminded of, or that you're looking to bring forward. What's being laid on your heart? Beautiful. I invite you, as you write that down, it helps bring it into reality, co-create it. It gives you an opportunity to keep it top of mind. So as we move forward through our conversation and through your day, you can glance down periodically and remind yourself of what you need, what you're looking for, that you've identified that, and be open to being surprised at how it's met, perhaps in an unexpected way that is moved forward for you. So be open to receive, looking forward to support coming alongside you to help you bring forward those things that matter most. So with that, we're going to go around our virtual room and see what our amazing guests have had laid on their heart. So with that, Trudy, I'd love to know, when you took a moment to just stop, pause, and listen, what was laid on your heart?
I felt just so grateful to be here and to share our dream coming true.
I love that.
With you.
Oh, well, I'm honored to have you here. And what a special moment that is when we can come together and share a dream coming true. That makes my heart happy. Thank you for sharing. I love that. How about you, John? What was laid on your heart?
For 2023, more world peace.
Beautiful.
If there's more peace in the world, not only our dream can come true of eradicating hunger, but also those millions of people that suffer every day. Mm-hmm. And this is what I'm hoping for in 2023.
I breathe that in deeply. I lift that up. And I hope that you feel all of us coming together as we lean in to support this vision and this dream, that we can unite and really make a shift, make things move forward in a powerful and positive way. I so appreciate that, John. Thank you.
Thank you.
And absolutely. And listeners, we are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do that, I want you to think about what was laid on your heart. Some of what John and Trudy have shared. Where is that striking you? How is that adding to what has been laid on your heart and your spirit? So take a moment, use these 2 minutes just for you to stay present and receive all that's being laid on your heart, and we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
We're with you wherever Alexa and Google are. At home, in the car, on your smart TV, and your connected devices.
Hey, Alexa.
Hey, Google. Play my favorite Voice America podcast on TuneIn.
It's just that easy. But don't forget to make sure you actually mention the name of the podcast show to make it work.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Get the news on our shows and other happenings by following us on Twitter. Find us at Voice America TRN or twitter.com/Voice America TRN.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and that opportunity to really pause and breathe and see what's being laid on your heart. See the seeds that are being planted in you as you're looking forward at 2023. And what dreams are you being called to bring forward that you want to see grow, that you want to see come true? What are some of those things that are pulling at your heart and spirit. This is a great moment to check in and to listen to how our amazing guests have leaned in to bringing their dreams forward. So with that, I'm really excited to introduce our first amazing guest, John. He has served in the United Nations World Food Program, WFP, for 27 years, assisting the hungry poor. During his almost 3 decades, he's served in a variety of positions in the WFP field offices. And in his final years, he is appointed Activity Director Supply Chain. He recently partnered with Trudy Bauer, who you also met in our opening segment, to co-author a book on worldwide hunger and food distribution. He is passionate about feeding the hungry. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic John B. Creasy to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. And thanks again for inviting Trudy and I to your show. It's a real honor to be here.
Very welcome. I'm thrilled to have you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, my passion came years back when I was in Canada working for Oxfam. Out canvassing, and there I got my first taste at what hunger was out in some of the poorest countries in the world. But the real experience came when I joined WFP and served in some tough destinations like the Sudan, the Congo, spent time in Afghanistan, Pakistan, different places. And it just fell on my heart that it was sad that people were insecure and were not having access to food. Yes. And I knew this was my placing. And in my 27 years, together with the teams I've worked with, we've always fought to feed the hungry poor. No one should be denied food. Food is a necessity. It keeps us alive. And without it, people die every day. And I just continue my fight, even now that I'm retired, always advocating for the hungry poor, and tell others to continue to advocate. And nothing is too small.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, because I think sometimes we think, I can't give enough, or is this going to make a difference? I think that's a really important reminder that every step that we take matters. Every contribution helps, that even if you feel it's small, it can make a big difference. Those things add up. So I appreciate your passion, your service for so many years in this work, and you're continuing to advocate for the hungry poor and make a difference. So thank you for leaning in. And I was curious, just so our listeners know, because we do have a global audience, where are you joining us from today?
I'm in Prague. In Prague today. Just here meeting with some people that we're working with on different projects regarding the hungry poor, looking at what we can do in 2023.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So plans are afoot to make a big difference in 2023 and beyond. I love that. So then I would love to tie into the current project that is being released. It's going to be coming out on February 7th. So listeners, I encourage you to mark that date on your calendar, because there's some really special things that tie into that date around this project and this book. So I would love for you to share the book title and why you decided to partner with Trudy to bring this book forward.
Okay, the book is called The Hunger Crime, and the best way to sum it up, it's greed versus hunger. Before we get to the partnering up, maybe I'll just talk 1 minute about how we came together on it. I would say roughly 12 years back. We were both attending a food security workshop, and the facilitator started by asking us, what are 3 dreams that you want to make come true in your life? And I remember that when he read them out, Trudy said, write a book. John Creasy said, write a book. Well, at the first coffee break, I grabbed Trudy. We sat down at a table, and I told her I had a story that I had to tell the world. And we started scribbling notes on a napkin, and then we started writing the the hunger crime. It's been a long journey, but it's quite fulfilling.
I love it. So this was back in, would you say 2011? Is that approximately when?
Roughly 2011, yes, that would 2011. Be correct.
Okay. So I love that you both had that same seed planted and that you've come together and you've persisted in working and bringing this forward. These dreams take time, and I love that you're investing the time, both of you, in the commitment to keep taking steps to bring it forward. So that's exciting. I love that you're both led to do that. And as you're looking ahead at the release of this book and this project you've been working on for so many years, is there something you're excited about as you look ahead to February 7th, the release date?
I'm quite excited because, the hunger crime is a story which talks about hunger, but the backdrop is against a fast-paced thriller. Mm-hmm. So we didn't really want to write something that was a story that was around a university essay paper or a scholastic textbook. What we wanted to do was something that was entertaining and educational, a whole new twist to things about telling a story that's fun. But in the backdrop, there's a serious crisis, which is called a food crisis going on at this moment in the world.
Yes. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And with that, I'm going to bring on Trudy as well so we can hear her perspective too. So let me take a moment and introduce Trudy. She studied French literature and international affairs in college and university. She was inspired by the writings of Victor Hugo. And from that, she embarked on an overseas career with CARE, Cooperative Assistance and Relief Everywhere. So Cooperative for Assistance and Relief Everywhere, and the UN World Food Program spanning 30 years. She's managed food assistance programs in India and Bangladesh and Madagascar and Ghana, just to name a few. And in 2011, she began the co-authoring journey that we were talking to previously for the book, The Hunger Crime, and is passionate about sharing it with the world and making a difference. Please lean in and warmly welcome Trudy Bauer to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Very grateful to be here.
You are so welcome. I'm thrilled to have you joining us. And I'd love for you to share why Feeding the Hungry is something that has been planted on your heart.
As you said, it started with literature, and everyone was exposed to it through the film or the book Les Miserables. So it was about the hungry poor and how an innocent man was put in the galleys for 20 years for stealing a loaf of bread. So really, that story keeps repeating itself. And then that character, Fantine, who has to, sell her services to feed her own child. So I went to India, which has probably the largest numbers of hungry practically anywhere in the world. And I was an intern, but I really felt that the work made such a difference. And I went to so many villages, and there's so much dynamism and positivity and people wanting to better their lives. And they just need a little push, a little start, a little boost to get them going. And a lot of these food programs are so critical, particularly for young children, because there's a 1,000-day window. And if they don't get nutrition then they were stunted for life. And then for school children, the most important thing in any kind of development to improve the community, the country, even the GNP, you need educated, healthy people. And if you don't get the children in school, then they fall behind and they're not able to contribute to their homes, to their communities, and particularly girls. So there's a lot of emphasis on educating girls, getting them out of the household into school, and from there they can also pursue their own dreams. And there's a lot about girls that if they stay in school, they get married later, they have healthier children, they have higher wages, and they contribute more to the communities and to the household.
Yep, absolutely. I love how important it is to know those connections and that you've leaned into to make such a difference for so many. I so appreciate that. And I know that you've also had this seed planted that you were the other person at that conference who responded about writing a book, and then you and John were led to unite forces and start the journey together of writing this book that is coming forward in February. We're very excited about its release, and I'd love for you to share your perspective of why you leaned in and said yes and are looking forward to the release of this book.
When we started in 2011, we'd just come through two of the major humanitarian crises of that decade. There was a major earthquake in Haiti in 2010 that completely obliterated the capital. So there were no buildings, there's no telecommunications, there's no banking system. So we were actually able to capture that in real time, and that many of our colleagues worked there. So we had interviews with them. We looked at all of the correspondence, and we looked at how it was handled. So we were really next to the action. And the same thing went, unfortunately, for the Somali famine, which in 2011 had killed over 250,000 people, half of them children. And now these two events, a decade later, are repeating themselves as major catastrophes. So sadly, it's inspired by true events, and hopefully it's a call to action that maybe this time we can do something so it doesn't keep repeating itself. Mm-hmm. So John and I came together with this idea of the crime thriller plot, and we really had to upgrade it with new technology like blockchain and Bitcoin to make it topical, because that wasn't around then. And then we, against the backdrop, real emergencies and humanitarian responses in real time. So it was a very exciting project, and we loved including our colleagues.
Oh, I love it. Well, I'm so excited. I know it's coming out on February 7th, so I hope everybody's writing that on the calendar. And something that's really special about the release, and why I keep emphasizing that date, listeners, is that when the book is released, it's going to be available on Kindle, so in a digital format, the first 24 hours for a really special rate of $1.99. So we really want this to be accessible for everyone. We love for you to have the opportunity to lean in and take advantage of that special rate. So please make sure to mark it on your calendar and then watch as we will share out in social media, and it'll be available on Amazon starting on February 7th. And there are and I'm going to actually have John, if you want to share what else is special about the release and some of how it's going to help end hunger.
Okay. Yes. We have decided that for the launch, the monies made by the authors of the book will all go for school feeding. Mm-hmm. There will be no profits for us in any way from the book, and all the money will go to school feeding programs, which are very important today. Families now are sending their kids to school, to secure they get a good, nutritious meal. On top of that, they also do it because they know they can get a good education. And what we're seeing also is that parents now are even sending more of their girls to school, which is so important. We start seeing equal balances in the classroom, which is so important. Getting kids educated helps them grow, helps them develop, helps them go into a possible professional world tomorrow, having a good education and coming out of poverty. So we believe starting at the grassroots, or at the level of the school children, help build a better tomorrow for these children, but also for the nation, as Trudy mentioned. So it's so important that the population is well educated.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you sharing about that. Very excited that not only is this a powerful book that we can add to our library and enjoy and become educated about some of the distribution systems and ways that we can lean in and participate, but even the purchasing a copy of the book that day will also go to support feeding school children. And I just think that's really, really powerful. So for anyone who's looking at starting the new year, wondering what you can do to make a difference, here's something you can put on your calendar in a way that you can get involved one step at a time. With that, Trudy, anything you want to add?
Well, to what he said, meal at school costs about 50 cents a day. So you see how that can make a big difference. And I always like to use Mother Teresa's quote, and it's guided me since I was, in one of my first posts. But someone said this to me: we know only too well that what we are doing is nothing more than a drop in the ocean. But if the drop were not there, the ocean would be missing something. So for us and for them, you are the drop in the ocean to reduce hunger, and everything you do has a ripple effect, however small. So we hope the book is a call to action, and also we hope it will be a whole new world that opens up to you and what this means to be a humanitarian in this day and age. And just as COVID opened up the world of the frontline healthcare workers to us, and we saw their courage and we saw all they did to save lives, we hope this book will do it for the humanitarians working in unseen and very remote locations all over the world.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Trudy. I appreciate it. And we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about some of what Trudy and John have shared and what is being laid on your heart. What's bubbling up? Perhaps pull out your 2023 calendar and mark on it February 7th as a day to not miss, to lean in, take action, take advantage of that special opportunity and create that drop. Let that be a ripple that you're creating in a positive way to add an enjoyable, powerful, dynamic book into your library and to make a difference at the same time. We'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
Get the news on our shows and other happenings by following us on Twitter. Find us at VoiceAmericaTRN or twitter.com/VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to Facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to Facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
We're with you wherever Alexa and Google are. At home, in the car, on your smart TV, and your connected devices.
Hey, Alexa.
Hey, Google. Play my favorite Voice America podcast on TuneIn.
It's just that easy. But don't forget to make sure you actually mention the name of the podcast show to make it work.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes that you pulled out your calendar. You put February 7th on it to at least check it out. And it would be such an amazing support if you would also help us share it out so we can reach as many hearts and lives that day as possible. So those of you who are led to get a copy, that's amazing. We'd be so honored, and we'd be just so moved to have you join the wave that we're looking to make in bringing this book to as many people around the world as possible to help expand our understanding globally of what we're facing, what we're looking at, how we can make a difference, how we can come together and help shift the tide here on the hungry poor, that together we really can make a difference, a drop at a time. And just with that thought, John was sharing behind the scenes with me a statistic that, because sometimes we don't realize how important something is, or we don't realize the numbers and the stats with it because it's not part of our world on a regular basis. And so I just wanted to have John share some of the stats he was sharing with me behind the scenes a little bit to give you perspective on how pressing an issue this is. So John, I'd love for you to share.
Yes. One of the main reasons why we wrote The Hunger Crime is also because today the planet produces enough food to feed all 8 billion of us. But today, a child dies every 6 seconds of hunger. That's 10 children every minute, every hour, every day, every month, and all 365 days of the year. An enormous number, over 5 million. Furthermore to this, close to 1 billion people go to bed hungry every night, mostly parents, because they want to make sure that their children are fed before going to bed.
Yep.
This should not be taking place in the third millennium. Not today.
And I love that important reminder that there is enough food. It is being produced, but it's finding ways to get it to those who need it. And that's so much at the core and the heart of all of your service, what you advocate for, and the heartbeat of this book and the mission in bringing it forward. So I appreciate you sharing that and breaking it down so that we really understand the challenge, and we understand that this does need to change, and we can come together and shift the tide. But it takes us coming together one step, one drop at a time. Trudy, anything you want to add to that?
I would like to just say that I hope that they will have curiosity to learn more about our world and about world hunger and about the work of the UN World Food Program. And I actually looked up the term again, humanitarianism, but I really hope this book would rekindle the notion of humanitarianism, which means the belief in the value of human life. So I think it seems obvious, but I think we sometimes forget, and how important food aid is to fight against terrorism, and it's a key path towards peace. So how these programs are helping so much in the face of great odds to mitigate the impact of conflict. And so these are areas that are inaccessible, so people don't easily see them or hear about them. But I think our book takes you through a very interesting journey, the journey of the protagonist who faces all these challenges and risks, the journey of one of the hungry poor in Somalia who has to make decisions to stay or leave her home because her children are dying of hunger, that kind of thing. So there's lots of interesting action, but there's also a lot of hope. So I say it's the story of hunger and of hope.
I love that, hunger and hope. And do you have a favorite part when you look at it? Because you just mentioned a few of the twists and turns and some of the characters. Do you have a favorite part of this book that you just can't wait for people to discover as they enjoy the book?
Well, John has the obvious answer, so I'll actually let him go first, and I have a subtle answer. So you can each answer.
Okay, John, you can start.
There are no favorite parts of the book. I think the entire book is quite good. But the one that attracts me, the section most, is the hostage chapters. It's really the centerpiece where all the stories start coming together and the plot starts to unfold. It's not fully unfold. The reader will have to continue turning pages, but I'm sure when they get to that part of the book, they're not going to put it down until they reach the last page. I'm not going to say anything else.
Okay, a little bit of a cliffhanger. I like it, though. I like it. Beautiful. So, Trudy, what's your add-on answer?
My add-on answer is, after all of this action, adventure, intrigue, I like the last chapter. I compare it to a roller coaster ride. And while you have thrills and chills and you're so involved and you're emotionally moved, and then remember when you finish and you come down and you just go, you can breathe, and breathing into being grounded, you've landed, and everything's going to be okay.
So I like that. So it has a satisfying finish. I love that. That it feels good. I love that. So we have the whole range of experience in the book. So very rich experience. And so I'm excited about that. I love that. And just as we reflect back on our conversation today, I'm really excited about the release date, February 7th. So just in case anyone missed that at all during our call, I want to make sure I repeat it. So February 7th, The Hunger Crime, be watching for that. We'll be sharing out on social media that special rate of $1.99 for the first 24 hours, and that the funds raised are going to go to help feed school children. So just a really powerful cause that you can participate in while adding this exciting, thrilling book to your library. So very excited about that. As we reflect back on our conversation today, I just want to see if either of you had a final thought as you're looking at your dream coming true. It's just around the corner of this book being released in the world. Any final thoughts or shares on your heart? John, I'd love for you to start.
Yeah, I would like to, my thought is that I would like to welcome all the newcomers that were listening in on the show, thanks to you, Rebecca, to our humanitarian world, and that they always remember, as we've said throughout this show, that nothing is too small. As Trudy said, with 50 cents, you can feed a child and make sure they're getting a nutritious meal while getting an education every day. And even doing that small part, with many of us coming together, we can make a big change. Working together, we can make a big change.
Yes. Thank you. And Trudy, do you have a final thought?
I simply am very grateful to be here, and I hope that you will enjoy reading this book. And we really do appreciate your support. And by buying the book, you are already seeing the drop in the ocean. So I think it's a win-win-win. And I really am really proud of it. And I think we honored the people that we were working with, both the hungry poor and the humanitarian communities. And yes, I'm very proud of this, and I thank you for opening up your heart to us.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Absolutely, my honor. And in these final moments, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to share if there's contact information for people who are feeling that call in their heart, they're really resonating and they want to connect and go deeper. I'd love for you to share the best way to do that. So, John, I didn't know if you had that information to share with us today.
Trudy, do you have it?
I can say that it will be thehungercrime.com. And then there's Amazon. And then for information on the like the food crisis and food programs, you could go to WFP.org. W as in world, F as in food, P as in program. They have a lot of good information on the global food crisis and programs and how to get involved.
Perfect.
And a lot on school feeding.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off. You said a lot of cool...
A lot of information on school feeding.
School feeding, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate both of you following your dream and really leaning in and persevering to bring it forward in such a powerful way and to spend time with us today. I know prior to launch, it's a busy time to do so, and I appreciate that so that together we can unite, expand our awareness, really look at the world in a global way that we are all connected, and the steps and choices we make do make a big difference. And so here's an opportunity we can unite and come together. So thank you for creating that opportunity. Thank you for joining us. Listeners, I want to thank you for tuning in. And I'm really excited about seeing all that you are leaning in, taking steps forward on to bring forward in 2023 and beyond. Remember that every step you make, every choice, and I like how John said, no step is too small. It all makes a difference. So keep taking those steps. Be willing to bring forward those things that matter most to you, because you are a gift, absolutely needed in the world, especially for such a time as this. So be willing to take those steps. Be willing to share the gift of you and be willing to put action behind those things that matter most. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.